matter how strong you are.
Hell yeah. This build is so much more than I ever could have imagined it would be. It is a ton and a ton of time, so much stuff that you guys aren't able to unfortunately see on camera, as there's just so much that goes into it. But just the time, it is a lot of money to do what I'm trying to do with this car. But I think the end result is going to be well worth it. It is going to push this channel to kind of a whole new lengths, as beforehand, it was pretty simple builds looking at what I'm doing with the Honda now in comparison. So I think this is going to be an overall very beneficial thing for the channel and kind of push what we can keep doing on the channel and do crazier and crazier things. But I'm very, very excited for the end result of this car, to finally start racing it, taking it to events, and just having an absolute blast in a car, which I really have not been able to do in about a year now. Oh. Oh my goodness, this thing is so light. How are we on that side?
Still hitting?
No, that's the door. Oh, I think it's just the bottom.
Yeah, bro, we're scraping the bottom of your car.
Oh. And there we go, we are locked and loaded, heading over to Strayed.
I'm barely pushing.
'90s, right? I think that's a spec.
You just take that home, but wait, no, can't take that if I gotta cut it. Usually that goes all the way across, but it doesn't appear like it ever went all the way across in this car.
No.
But it feels like a contradiction. Cool.
Well, the grinding has begun. He is getting ready to get the cage put in. What he was doing earlier today was getting everything fitted. As you guys can see, there's tape everywhere. This is for the plates that the cage gets welded to. So we got all of that stuff fitted. We went ahead and removed the seats, the dash, all of that stuff, as it's not needed to install a cage right now. But the grinding process has begun. We're gonna start with the main hoop because everything kind of builds off of that. My poor, poor interior. Here we go, we have all of the 4 plates grinded off. He is now getting ready to tack in these plates. And of course, after he gets all those plates tacked in, he can start prepping the main hoop and get this tacked in as well.
So that's the seam sealer in the layer underneath blowing back at me.
Here we go, the floor plate is now tacked in. He is now getting ready to start grinding the main hoop. Here we go. The main hoop is now placed in. It is now almost time to get this thing tacked in.
Start centering it up.
So is that like, and then probably.
They needed more balance in the front. So that's going back.
Here we go. They are killing it, making some very awesome progress here. The mock-up tacks are done, at least on the front section. The main hoop, the A-pillar bars, and then whatever this bar is called are all tacked up in its rough position here. He's now working on the door bars, but this is starting to look so good. I could not be more excited here. Before we obviously tack up our driver door bar, we're gonna go ahead and throw in the seat, make sure everything fits good there. So we're gonna go ahead and grab one of the seats. I guess they're both the same. Throw it in here and make sure it all fits.
You tie off, like if you're running a regular seatbelt still, that's where you'd reattach your seatbelt thing, because they're always attached to the fucking seat.
Okay.
We're still down right there.
I bet
It should fit.
it should fit.
These door bars were designed to fit with the armrest, and I think the armrest tucks into this area somewhere.
So now what they're doing right now is they're adding a seal bar underneath. That does not come with the cage. This is a newer requirement. So to meet the NHRA requirements as an 8.5 cage, we are adding the seal bars on both sides. Actually, just the driver's side. Yep, it's only required over there. Here we go, one of the last steps for mock-up here. The rear plates are now tacked in. He's getting the rear bars all ready to get welded on, or I should say tacked on for right now. This is coming together. They're hauling through this. This is one day Craig has done all of this, which is pretty badass. Up next, after all this mock-up gets done and tacked into place, he wants to make sure everything fits perfectly before he goes through and welds. But if everything looks good, then he's gonna go through and start welding everything together.
Yeah, we're gonna have Realtek together on day one, and that's pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like a glove.
We'll just split that. I want to prep the other ones so they're both ready to go.
Okay.
Finish sanding the rest of the carbon fiber.
Well guys, here we go. The cage is fully tacked into position and it looks absolutely insane. This car now has a completely different look to it, which I absolutely love. Tomorrow's game plan is to go through and fully weld everything shut. He just wanted to get everything tacked into position to make sure everything fit well before he went through and committed welding, but he's very happy with it. I'm happy with it. So tomorrow's game plan is to weld this. This is so damn surreal seeing this car come together, and I cannot wait to show you guys tomorrow after this thing gets welded shut. And then after they do that, they're gonna make their way onto the all-wheel drive stuff, getting the diff mounted in position and all of that fun stuff. Well, here we go, guys. We are back at a day 2 now. Craig's game plan is to get all of the bars welded through TIG welding. Yesterday, you went through and tacked everything up to make sure everything fit perfectly, which it does. So now he is tackling the welding. And I don't know if I showed you guys this yesterday, but we had to add and modify a few things on this cage. One of them was to add the sill bar, as this cage, I believe when it was made and manufactured, the NHRA guidelines and regulations were a little bit different. To meet the current 8.5 regulations, we had to add the sill bar, and it's only required on the driver's seat. Craig so graciously added one on the passenger side as well, because it was driving me crazy that it wasn't symmetrical. So he got that added in. He is right now doing whatever that bar is, the A-pillar connecting bar, I'm gonna call it. He's welding that in and then gonna start tackling all of this.
You can still burn your eyes through the camera lens also, Remmy.
Really? Well, here we go, guys. Today is the final day, and we will have a fully welded in cage. Right now, he is just tacking the four-page. He has the rear done. He's working on the front right now, but this looks absolutely amazing. A nice little 2-day cage install. We did have to stop the other day, unfortunately, when he was welding in the cage. His machine started leaking coolant, so we are picking back up now on Monday. But he's knocking this out for us right now, and by the end of today here, we should have all of this stuff done. Here we go. We have a lot of my undercoating falling off because obviously we did go through and undercoat this entire car, and since we are obviously welding to the chassis, it is one, very smoky, but also causing this stuff to fail here. So we'll have to go through, obviously once this car is caged, we have no more fab work required. We'll go through, undercoat the areas that are needed, and then obviously on the interior this week we are going to have to go through and repaint the bracket areas and then paint the cage. But you live and learn. I did not realize that I was going this far with the car where it would need a cage, so that is obviously why I went through and painted the chassis, did the undercoat, and then I decided to go balls to the wall and shoot for a ridiculous amount of power, so that required us having a cage. But all of this stuff is very fixable. We'll go through this week and make sure this looks good again. But here you go. All of the smoke is all of that undercoat just burning off here. Crazy. Look at the blanket. Scrub. I guess.
It pushes so easy.
Yeah,
Are we on film right now again?
Are you?
Yeah.
You are on film, yes.
This is we talk about cleaning leather.
It's informative. Here we go, guys. The roll cage is officially all welded in. It looks absolutely amazing. I'll give you guys a full rundown as soon as we get the car off the quick jacks. What they're working on right now is the rear end, the diff welding. As you guys can see, we have the diff placed back in the car. They're going to be welding in this front brace, as I don't want to bolt it in because I'm scared I'm going to break it and lose a drivetrain. So we're going to go ahead and get that welded in. They're going to do the viscous as well for us. All that fun stuff. Get the cover on here as well so we can service this and make it look great on the interior as well. But right now, Chris and I are going to go ahead and start assembling our drive line so we can get all of this placed into position as well. Well, guys, here she is. It is all complete. We're kind of rushed. We need to go ahead and get this thing loaded on the trailer. I made them stay past their normal working hours, but I'll give you guys a full rundown when we get to the shop here. This thing looks absolutely amazing. I went through and also did all of the diff work that we needed as well. Fully welded that shut. Looks absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and get this thing loaded up onto the trailer. But a huge shout out to the boys over at Strayed, Craig and Chris, who took care of us, got this car in when really they did not have the time to, but they knew my timeline of wanting to get this car running. They squeezed me in. It was a 2-day turnaround, which was absolutely amazing. Huge thank you to them. There is nobody else that I would trust to weld in my cage. Utmost importance to them is safety, so I feel very confident every time I have work done from them. My turbo kit on my STI is built by them. Every kit I've had for the past several kits is actually built by them. They're going to also be building our turbo kit on this car. So this week we have a ton of work we need to get done. Get the motor in the car, get a built trans in the car, and then we're bringing this car back here for them to build us a custom intercooler turbo setup, which will be absolutely insane. But I just wanted to say huge shout out to the boys over at Strayed. If you guys are needing any fabrication work, these are the people you want to hit. Here's their phone number. Absolutely amazing work, and I'll show you guys a little bit more in detail of how this thing looks once we get back to our shop. And well, guys, there we go. The Honda is all loaded up on the trailer, strapped down, and ready to bring back to our shop. It looks absolutely amazing. We have a gorgeous sunset going on as well, but I'll see you guys back at the shop. Yet again, a huge thank you to the boys over at Strayed Fabrication. Chris and Craig absolutely killed it, and they were able to squeeze me into their very tight deadline. As I know, I am trying to get this car on the road as soon as humanly possible. So without them, we would not be this far on this build. So huge thank you to you guys. If you guys need any fabrication work done, make sure to hit them up. Let them know I sent you their way. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.